Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and this is a video that has taken me around the world to bring into fruition. Um, for some reason, my camcorder, the app was saying can't open the app, so I had to download the app all over again. But before that, I did that. I'm like, okay, I couldn't get into my Apple account. I went to do a recording on Blog Talk Radio. I couldn't get into that. I couldn't do a live stream on YouTube. I could not do a live stream on Facebook. So take it as you will, beloveds, but this is a video that is already coming through from adversity. I'm going to put it like that. And I'm going to say this, beloveds. This video is Get Thee Behind Me, Satan. Okay? And a lot is going to come up in this video, and a lot is going to come up because there is so much in the air right now. And Spirit wants me to have you pay special attention to the spirits of the air, or the air elementals. Right now, it's storming here in Wisconsin, and that woke me up out of my sleep, and I needed to change into into a dress and to go onto the rain on my patio and just get wet, get soaked with the rain. And I went wearing this, so this is still kind of damp from the rain. There's a lot going on. This particular download, transmission, whatever you want to call it, is very, very powerful. It has a lot to do with exactly what's going on with our current ascension process, our current expanding conscious awareness, identity of identifying the self over the personality, over the ego identity, over the scene, over the programming. Okay? I'm going to put it like that. What came up in my mind when I was told to do this video was Smeagol from The Lord of the Rings. You know, my precious, my precious, my precious, that ring, that item that gave the connection, the attachment to an identity that was more than Smeagol. And when Smeagol came into possession of that ring possessed him. It changed him. It changed his way of thinking. It changed his values. It changed his way of being. It changed his outlook on things. It became his sole pleasure, his sole form, and contact of pleasure. What is pleasure other than self satisfaction? The ring is a circle. That circle holds a space that is unseen, and you fill it with your finger, whatever finger you put on there, whatever finger you put in that ring. Each finger each digit, each finger has its own lore, its own stories, its own identifications, its own mm, electrical currents and currency that you tap into by, just like when you marry, you know, that ring goes on here, this finger. In presenting Smeagol, I want you to understand what an entity attachment is, how it presents, how it seems, how it wars with the other, the original self. Okay? I want you to expand your conscious awareness enough to receive that this entity is a shadow. It is that being, that materia. It is not flesh. Its form is a shadow. Think Peter Pan. Peter Pan came up in another video. All of this is leading you to a very particular understanding, a foundation for which you gain access to your original currency, current. That is why this is titled, Get Thee Behind Satan, Get Thee Behind Me, Satan. Satan is known as the adversary. In the Cherokee lore, it is said that two wolves reside within. This is a story that the grandfathers told to the grandson. And the grandson said, well, if these two wolves are there, grandfather, which one wins? And the grandfather told the grandson, the one that you feed. The one that you allow to consume. The one that you keep nourished. The one that you flesh out, that you keep materializing in this world. That's the wolf that wins. In the Bible, it comes to mind, and I've done shows and I've written about this, that which we, hold on one second, let me get my phone and bring it up. Okay, beloveds, so much interference is going on. Romans 7:15. I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I do. And that's from the New International Version. And I want to give you a little bit more on that, beloveds, so just bear with me. Um, the context, struggling with sin. And this again is Romans 7:14 through 16. Struggling with sin. Struggling with sin. Wrestling with yourself. Wrestling with these powers and principalities. Okay? We know that the law is spiritual, but I am unspiritual, sold as a slave to sin. I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. And if I do what I do not want to do, I admit that the law is good. I'm not going to give too much on that. I want you to get your own revelations from it. I want you for it to unfold for you to connect with it in the way that you need to, and not give you what comes from me. But I'm going to elaborate on these scriptures. Cross references. And this is coming from, what is this called? TheBibleHub.com, beloveds. Cross reference. John 15:15. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not understand what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, because everything I have learned from my Father, I have made known to you. So, when you are this slavery, this freedom, this sovereignty that is continually to come up, again, I want you to think of Smeagol being a slave to what? To that ring, to that entity attachment, to that desire for whatever that ring brings up within him. It tainted him. The words walk in are also connected to this phenomena. Understand that when you are no longer a slave, you are no longer a servant to this entity, to this shadow that has power over your being, over your principality of being, over your kingdom. Then you become free. You become a master, because you no longer do. You no longer serve. You no longer have a master over you. You become the master. And that voice, get thee behind me, Satan. Slaves follow. They do not lead. Get thee behind me, Satan. You don't lead me nowhere. I don't follow you. It's very profound. Romans 7:19. For I do not do the good I want to do. Instead, I keep on doing the evil I do not want to do. Again, beloveds, I want you to understand this struggle, this wrestling, that is not, how can I say, it is your shadow. It was born with you. It is an essence that exists. It is the polarity. It is based on universal laws. There can be no you without it. There can be no it without you. This video is saying you need to master it. I did a lot of videos prior to this on Valerie AMES' channel. And this was when, I guess you could say, I started becoming aware more so of this entity attachment and the struggles that would take place within. Because I would be cussing, I would be doing this, there's an attitude that comes over me, baby, that is ever present and ever confident and is ever knowing. And that is greedy and hungry and thirsty for drama based upon trauma. Why? The laws of the universe. What you sow, you reap. So the more this attachment, this entity is able to sow, produce, cause, influence, inspire chaos, the more chaos reigns. And it stays entrenched. It stays in its position as master, as leader, as ruler, as your sovereign being, as your Lord. And so you have to remove it from its throne, because it will sit there and you will think this is you. Schmiegel lost, he had his identity of who he was before he came into possession of that ring. Very faint, dog whistle. Because who he was now, with this attachment, as this it all consuming. Let me keep going. Galatians 5:17. For the flesh craves what is contrary to the spirit, and the spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are opposed to each other, so that you do not know, so that you do not do what you want. Like I said, there was so much interference and to even bring all of this forward in this. Okay? Treasury of scripture. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not, but what I hate, that I do. For that, Romans 14:22, hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before God. Happy is he that condemneth not himself in that thing that he alloweth. Baby. Self-condemnation, self-hate, low self-esteem, depression, mental illness. Because what? Because you're wrestling with this power and principality, and it's whooping your ass. It's conquering your spirit. You're allowing it to. You're giving it more power. You're giving it the authority to rule over you. In other words, you're saying, shadow, adversary, Satan, this world is yours, and I bow down to you. But when you don't, baby, when you say, I don't want that shit comes and goes. That's not wealth, that's not treasure, that's not beauty. Whose standards? What the hell? What? No. Get thee behind me, Satan. Nobody listening to that. Nobody want to hear that mess. Ain't nobody got time for that. Are we there yet? No, we ain't there yet. Gone. Pull that car over. Stop. Fred Flintstone brakes. Get out. You are the one that you have been waiting for to bring balance to the chaos. You are the one to flip that karmic light switch on. To shut that down as you sit upon your throne in your kingdom. Thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. In the highest consciousness, let it come in this physical body, this physical presence. Let that connection, let that alignment take place. Let that healing, let that health, let that wealth, let that abundance take place, and let it radiate and shine like the sun and the moon. Understanding and understanding the influence of the essence of each spectrum and frequency of light and its influence upon you. These are the powers and principalities. These are the things that animate you. Know thyself. Luke 11:48. Truly, ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and ye build their sepulchres. What the hell does that mean? Baby. These entities, these adversaries, these powers and principalities were so powerful, they conquered the spiritual knowing. That spiritual knowing went dormant. It became the wolf that was not fed. And so that wolf that was fed, that terror and terrorized and pillaged and plunged the beings into war and warfare. That led each step, each, this is how you make this weapon and you need this. And oh, we're going to put some spikes. The mace is not good enough. We want spikes on the mace to tear the flesh even more. And I want you to see how sadistic and how masochistic the duality of the shadow is. And how when it possesses you, when it takes over you, when it begins to lead you, when it puts its collar on you and its leash on you, and it yanks you and says, sit, boo-boo. If you believe, if you put your faith in those dynamics, then that is the existence that you manifest, that you give power to, that you plug into, that you give energy, currency, charge to. Just like Christmas lights. Christmas lights don't do nothing until they plugged up. You can wrap them around the tree and the house and the windows and the seals all day long. But until you plug them in and turn them on, don't do nothing. All of these symbols and symbologies is very powerful, beloved. Each has its own weight in this conversation, in this communication. Truly you bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers. So that means you observe everything that is taking place. All what the patriarchy, matriarchy, and everything that has happened. You bear witness to these things. You have observed these things. And you have observed that these things kill them. That their wants and desires and their notions and philosophies tumbled civilizations and killed them. And we build sepulchres. That means we keep building upon what was built. We keep building what? Tombs, not wombs. Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me, death. Death can only come when you allow and you keep building these sepulchres. When you say, here go your buffet, come on. But when you get to the point where you no longer built upon those things, and you realize that there were beings that were immortal, and you start building upon that foundation, guess what? Death is a dog whistle. Allow. Psalms 1:6. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. For the Lord knoweth. Sovereign being of choice. The Lord knoweth. You are a sovereign being. You are a Lord. The Lord knoweth the way of the righteous. You know what to do. You know how to speak out of your mouth the authority to say, get behind me, Satan. Get the hell up out of my car, my Merkaba, my aura, my space. Get out. No, I ain't listening to you. Zip it. You in a timeout. Shut up. You don't let it put you in the timeout while it's going, doing everything, clubbing and woo. Let me bring it down. But the way of the ungodly shall perish. The way of the ungodly shall perish. It will perish because the Lord knoweth the way of righteousness. When you grasp a hold of your divinity, when you make that connection, when you sit upon your throne as the rightful ruler, as this is your inheritance, as the authority, the proper authority, as the law. Baby, unrighteous, ungodly dies because you're not feeding it. It starves, it gets thirsty. It dies from thirst and starvation because you're not feeding it. It has nothing to consume. It consumes your spirit. It consumes your spirit by keeping you depressed. When you're depressed, you're feeding it. When you're angry, outraging, you're feeding it. Don't think that when I say you get angry, understand that emotions play their part in everything. But when you lose control of your emotions, that is when they begin to feed off of you, off of your spirit. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with being passionate. There's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with feeling appropriately, having things rise within you. Those are the solar and the lunar frequencies moving through you. Okay? There's nothing in existence that you are not. Claim everything that is yours. Leave nothing out. Nahum 1:7, the Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. Baby, honey, let me tell you. You talking about somebody balled up in the fetal position, crying, shaking, and trembling, and wishing for death, and all at the same time calling on God too? Been there, done that. I waged that war. That war was waged upon me many times, Tanis, many times. Okay? Before I was even born, in the womb, I remember these battles. Because of the mother that I was in, that I was housed in, that space. And each, like I said, I've said before, my mother, that Lord part of her, that goddess part of her, that divine feminine part of her, that essence right there, I recognized it and I loved it. And it loved me unconditionally. But baby, that was not always who sat in front of me. That was not always who dealt with me, who handled me. Sometimes I dealt with that other. Okay? And sometimes that other dealt with me. And that was not nice. That entity wanted nothing more than to feed upon my spirit, than to crush it and feed upon it. To intimidate, to frighten, to scare, to keep me in terror. Because even as a child, my spirit was strong. They said, you got a strong will. I'm going to break that. You cannot break what is not yours to break. My spirit, that's mine. You can take everything else away from me that you want to. And like I said, I've been in that darkness, trembling. with nothing but my faith to lead me. You hear me? Nothing but my faith to lead me out of that darkness, because I could not see my way out of it. I could not trust the feelings of my way up out of it. But I knew there's a way up out of this. You know how I knew? Because my spirit, my ancestors, my guides, always, you're not alone. It's more than you. This is bigger than you. Even when you can't explain it, walk this way. Okay. Well, how did you come out of that, child? I don't know. God. It was a higher power. It was source. It was something higher than me. Brought me out of that. I don't know what that was. I can't tell you. That's your higher self. That's you. Waiting on you to know and put faith and trust in you. And not that other. Not that shadow. For you to take control over your situation, over your kingdom, your house, your household. Yeah, you may have some whores in the basement, you know, and you may have some little, I'm better than this and I'm better than that and I'm judgmental in the attic up there. But these are essences and aspects of yourself. They should not rule you. 2 Timothy 2:19, nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let every one that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. The name of Christ, the Christos, the light one, the crystallized form of a pure conscious, pure spiritual conscious that is fully aware of itself as the one. The Father is greater than I, but the Father and I are one. Understanding that here on this earth plane, you are here to wrestle until you know that. And you are redeemed by that. That is your karma. That's the end of your karma. Let's see. I'm going to get a little bit into the, let's see here. It flipped on me again. There we go. Okay. We're talking about allowing with conscious awareness what leads you, the thoughts that are predominant in your heart, so that you no longer struggle as much. You see what's there and you know that the struggle is there, but you're now able to discern. You're now able to not have to wrestle with that. You're able to be like Neo now, stopping the bullets and all of that, you know. And that's when your shadow, you move like us now. You damn Skippy, I do. And watch this, because I'm going to do one better than that. That's that Christ consciousness. The one, the neo, the newborn. That one that came out of zero. Romans 7, 16, 19, and 20. If then I do which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. And I advise you, I'm not going to, Spirit is saying, have you focus and meditate on that. Look up other versions of that, other translations of that scripture so that it breaks down for you, so that you can be fed by every nutrient that is there. Okay? And when you go get it on your own, baby, that's you cooking and getting the ingredients and making it from scratch. It's not just being given to you. That means you're seeking the truth. That means you're in a different flow because you're seeking. And the universe says, oh, you've finally woken up enough to seek. Well, here, baby, here. Open your mouth. Come on. Come on. Let mama feed you. I got just what you need. Seek that truth, and that truth will be given to you. Have faith that it'll be there. There may be a couple of stones that you have to hop over and duck and dodge, but it's going to be there. 1 Kings 8:46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not. There is no perfection, beloved. We going to miss that mark. I don't care how good we is. I don't care who raised us. I don't care what our foundation is. I don't care how poor or rich we are spiritually. You are going to miss the mark. That is the duality. That is the paradox. That is the way of being, becoming, knowing, doing is. Okay? And thou be angry with them and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Now what's the law? What you do comes back upon you. So just like you got angry with them, somebody gonna get angry with you and put you in a situation, in some shit that you ain't gonna like. So learn. I am Lord and Master of this. I don't have to get angry with you about this, that, or the other. Don't have to. And if that anger arises, I'm master of it. I don't let it master me. I see you. Go on. I see Satan, get thee behind me. Okay? I see your horn showing, your tail coming out. Is that your pitchfork you got behind you? What? I don't have to play with you. Just because your demons is, come on, let's go. I ain't got a sword fight with you. I ain't got to play Star Wars with you. Ain't nobody got time for that. You got me messed up. You got me twisted. No. Stillness. Peace. I am that I am. I rested there. I don't need to do nothing to prove that, to enforce that in order to know I know that conscious awareness of peace. I rest in that. Everything else I observe. I observe the movement and the changes come and go. But this piece right here, baby, this is my throne. And I don't need to get up and go see about this and that and that and that here. I can see everything pass. Just like I'm laying on my back and looking up at the heavens and watching the clouds go by. Watching the sun shine and watch the day turn into night. Watch the stars move just like the clouds did. Okay? That's the navigation of stillness. That's being Lord and Master of your ways and means. Psalms 19:12. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Who can understand his errors? Who can understand your shadow's errors? Can Schmiegel understand why he want that ring in his pressure so bad? And if somebody come into he paranoid somebody gonna take it from him, first and foremost. Okay? Because it satisfies him to have it. And that satisfaction overrides all morality, all logical thought, all common sense. All instincts and intuition are overridden by I have to keep this. I cannot lose this. Because this is better than anything it's better than me. It's more precious than me. It's more precious than my existence. It's more precious than your existence. I'm going to have to kill you if you try. Secret faults. These are your doubts. These are your fears. These are the things that bubble up. These are the things that you hold in your body, in your fat cells, in your dis-ease, in your organs. These are your cancers, seen and unseen, manifested and unmanifested. These are your secret desires. This is what you wrestle with. Get thee behind me. Jesus, you know you're hungry. There go a rock right there, turn it into bread. You know you Lord and Master and this and that and that. What's wrong with you? Why are you waiting? Why are you not feeding yourself? Why are you not loving yourself, Jesus? Huh? Do you need me to help? I have. See that stone right there? You go ahead. You're hungry. Don't you feel your flesh being hungry? You didn't deny yourself all these days fasting and doing all of this. Just you ain't got to make a whole loaf. Just turn that little pebble right there into a crumb, and you'll be good. You eat. See? Get thee behind me, Satan. Don't tell me what to fucking do. Don't tell me what to do. But I'm doing it for you. Narcissistic bullshit. The shadow got some. Ooh, honey. It knows you. It knows you better than you know you. That's why when it comes, it comes fully loaded. That's why you got to have your shields up and ready. And you have to use your sword of truth to cut through his bullshit. Cut it in half, baby. Let me divide and conquer you with the truth. Okay? Yeah, you got this all fortress built up and you come and got all these soldiers and this and that and that. Let me use this sword of truth on you, because that's all lies. All that illusion, let me use this sword of truth on. That's all smoke and mirrors, man. Whoop. Get thee behind me, Satan. Get your ass back down. You do not belong in the front. You are not a reflection of me. That is a lie. You are my shadow. I know you just like I know myself. I ain't feeding you. I'm feeding this higher self. That's the choice, beloveds. That's the choice. In everything you do, you have choice. Okay, there we go. What I hate. Romans 12:9. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Let love be without dissimulation. That means no. First of all, before you can let love be without dissimulation, let's break that word down. Dissimulate. Dissimulation. D-I, cut into two. Simulate, to copy, multiply, increase. Simulate, to act like, to copy from the original. Let love be without copy. Let love be without versions. Stick to the original. What's that TLC song? Stick to the waters that you used to. Psalms 36:4. Oh, wait a minute. Abhor what is evil. Abhor what is evil. So, beloveds, understand what you need to do. All of this, you just have, existence exists, yes. But you have to understand and discern what is in existence. And in order for you to rise above that shadow and for you to lead yourself, for you to ascend, you have to abhor the evil. That's why when Christ went into that temple and the money changers was there, he abhorred that. That energy, that frequency, them shadows, all of that he abhorred it. And he let them know. So do not sit there and think that, oh, you just have to let things. No, you don't. Abhor it. Abhor it. Even with your presence, abhor it. Even with your authority, looking it in its eye, abhor it. Do you know why slaves were not allowed to look at their masters? Because the master saw the abhorrence in the eyes, and it caused them pause. So they didn't want to see, so don't even look at me. Don't even look at me. Because the God in me is going to look at you. Yes, it is. The Lord in me, the Spirit in me is going to look at you. Yes, it is. It's going to look through you. And you're going to reflect upon it. Because I'm made in your image. Cleave to what is good. Cleave to what is good. Become one with it. Cling to it. Know the difference between the two. Know what you're supposed to abhor and know what you're supposed to cleave to. If you're in a relationship that's abusive, why are you cleaving to that when it's abusive to your spirit? If something is making war upon your spirit, why are you clinging to that? Why are you charging into, why are you allowing yourself to be led by that? That's when you give your sovereignty away. And beloveds, these are very intrinsic, deep, original ways of knowing the self. And it's time to renew that way of knowing, to re-energize yourself with that way of knowing, to redeem and reclaim your throne, your sovereignty. Okay? Psalms 36:4. He devises mischief upon his bed. He sitteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. This is speaking of Smeagol. You have become Smeagol. You devise mischief upon your bed. You think of Smeagol. Okay? My precious, my precious, my precious. And what you got to do to keep your precious. Okay? And that's always in your mind 24/7, 365. Consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously. That is what drives you. You have become obsessed with this. You have become possessed with this. Okay? This has become the power and principality that has full domain over you, full dominance over you. It is the alpha and you are the bitch. And you have come so misogynistic, not misogynistic, masochistic. There we go. Thank you, Mama. Misogynistic needed to be said because it's a very, that's a power and principality that is in direct force with this entity, with this thing that is being wrestled with. It is misogynistic. It's very misogynistic at its core. Why? Because it is against the instinct and intuition. It is against the divine space of the natural order. It wants to fill it with chaos, wants to penetrate it with chaos, wants to take its peace away. Understand these words, beloveds. Understand these ways. Understand these art of wars, these wrestlings. Okay? Psalms 97:10. Yes, that love the Lord. But ye that love the Lord hate evil. He persevered the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. He persevereth the souls of his saints. So that which is higher than you can never be disconnected from you. And it will recharge you and it will give you what you need so that you can persevere, so that you can endure, so that you are The spirit is resilient, baby. I want you to think about a newborn baby. People talk about, oh, the baby is weak when that baby is resilient. You're using the wrong word. That baby's not weak. That baby's resilient. Your spiritual will needs to be strong and resilient because it is going to take blows. That's why you need that shield. That's why pierced shield came up. And that shield is going to be pierced many times. But you need to know how to reform them, remake them, so that you never run out. And knowing that they're going to get battered and bruised and arrows shot into them and bullet holes. And I want you to think of Captain America's shield. Okay? Have your shield be like that, beloveds. Be able to use that shield. Understand what that shield represents within your spirit, as an aspect of your spirit, with your presence. Send it out first. Throw it. You ain't got to touch nobody. You ain't got to look at nobody. You ain't got to be in nobody's space. Clear that space for yourself. When you feel all these little icky troll energies coming at you, these gang stalking, blah, 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 these watchers and looking and glaring at your light, wanting to snuff it, that is because it hates you. That is the wolf that hates you, that is at war with you. You don't sit there, oh, nice doggy, come here, pretty cute. You better bare your teeth and let it know, I'm the alpha in this baby. Go sit down, boo-boo. Understand that these energies and these entities are going to come at you. That is what existence is. From point A to point B, you're going to encounter this. Your spirit is going to encounter this. But if you know yourself as a spirit being, you know what walks here, walks there. But if you know yourself as a human being that can be conquered, that can be manipulated, then you are taken. You are kidnapped, you are hijacked, and you're sold into, you're trafficked. It's just that simple. I want to get out of this, so I want you to, once again, this is Romans 15, and I want you to look at the, okay, Spirit. Sold under sin. For the meaning is, I am not a bond slave, when as I feel is the case with me, I am not my own master. But observe the state that goes on to be described is that of an unwilling bond slave, not of one who likes his bondage and has no desire to be free. The conscience is supposed already, through the operation of law, to protest against sin, to hate its thraldom, not willingly to acquiesce in it. That is very powerful, beloved. This is in the parallel commentaries of Romans 15. What I read, um, it goes on to specifically tell you, beloveds, that okay, I'm being flooded here. Hold on. As a child, I remember watching Born Free. It was the story of some African lion cubs and their whole process when I think the mother died and these white people got them and took care of them and raised them and then released them back. So that is the parallel that is being given for this whole transmission and download. Get thee behind me, Satan. Understanding that spirit, that lioness, lion spirit, that Judah, King of Judah spirit. Understand all of that is what is coming through. And understand that these are very ancient ways of communication, ancient signs and symbols, as far down to Tolkien's Smeagol and the Lord of the Rings. Thou shalt not pass. Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou shalt not pass. Okay? Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Born for this. How many generations? When I first started coming through as a being sharing her message, the animosity and the anger, because I've been fighting and battling all my life, baby. Like I said, I came out of my mama's womb. This woman that gave birth to me, to nurse me on her titty, had many personalities and energies and everything else, and I never know which one I'm encountering and how I needed to act to survive, because yes, she was trying to kill me, okay? Not just my spirit, but me physically, mentally, emotionally, through her verbal and her physical and her spiritual attacks. This was her entity. Because deep down in her, she didn't want to do it. What's making me do this to my baby? But I can't help myself. Why? Because all the shit that been done to her. The scripture said what? We witness and observe our fathers, and we build sepulchres. I built many with my own babies, and now I'm watching. I'm sorry, baby. I'm not that person anymore. Mom, I'm sorry. Mama went through this, and that. Nana went through this, and that. Nana see you now. Nana only could see you through the eyes that she was looking through before. Thanos was looking through the entity's eyes at you. When I'm looking through the entity eyes at the world, I'm in competition. I must conquer. I must put you in your place. I must let you know I am your Lord and Master. And you best bow down and kiss this pinky ring. Or else. It's on and popping, baby. Entity. Smeagol. Smeagol was a little badass. Remember how Smeagol could fight and do stuff? Smeagol was a little badass, okay? Smeagol also, what, was good and then it was bad. Can I trust you, Smeagol? Or are you good Smeagol right now? Or are you the bad Smeagol? What? Smeagol help. Smeagol help you. Smeagol help you. Okay? Smeagol help you. Smeagol love you. Come here, let me hug you. Want some candy? I see you. I see you. It has stopped raining. It's dark. Let me see what else is coming up, beloveds. I think this is it. If something else comes up, I'm sure Spirit will have me do another video, and I'll go through whatever I have to go through. And it's so funny because when you get to a point in yourself and you start encountering all these little adversarial things, setbacks, mishaps, be they electronic. My computer wouldn't open the app. I had to download this app all over again. And then it just went right back into it. My PC Protect not letting me turn on the VPN. Not being able to, I signed up for a membership with Alchemy in You. And the little sticker thing is there each month, everything. But I cannot connect with her in the members only. I can never get in there. Never. It'll always say you're not a member. I've written YouTube, I've written her, when there are these kinds of setbacks, I want you to understand that what's manipulating the set so that things are off, and why that is. It is to get you out of your spirit of peace. It is a hook and bait. It's fishing. It's trying to catch you in its net, in its web, so that you get into your emotions, so that you start blaming this, that, and the other. Instead of saying, peace, be still. Instead of saying, it'll work itself out. Instead of saying, breathe, work through it. Take your time. If it doesn't happen in this moment, it'll happen when it's supposed to. You just keep pursuing this. You don't get frustrated. You think a woman can, when she's getting ready to have a baby, she's, oh, okay, I'm frustrated. That's too much. I can't take this. Never mind. I don't want to have a baby now. Never mind. And get up from the table and walk away. Can you change your mind? So get yourself prepared to deal with all of these little things that are going to, all these little weeds that are going to come up in your garden. All these little insects, all these little things, all this drought, all this too much rain, all of this and all of that. It's going to come. It's going to happen. And you have to do what? You have to weather. You have to persevere. You have to endure. And how do you do that? In the spirit of that highest spirit. This too shall change. This too shall pass. I don't have to be upset. If it don't happen in this lifetime, it'll happen in the next. If it don't happen in this moment, it'll happen in the next. If it's not coming from me, it'll happen with what comes after me. Be at peace. Have faith. I have some things on my wall, and I'm being told to bring them forth again. This is a card sent to me from a dear, dear friend. It says, you're blessed when there are people in your life with helping hands that show God's kindness, open arms that reach out with a timely hug, a genuine smile that brightens up your day, a caring heart that gives so much. Knowledge is like a garden. It is not cultivated. It cannot be harvested. That's power. Knowledge is like a garden. It is not cultivated, and it cannot be harvested. The 10 virtues, although I only have 9. I must control my thoughts. I must control my actions. 3, I must have and show devotion to purpose. 4, I must have faith in the ability of the teacher to teach me the truth. 5, I must have faith in my ability to assimilate the truth. 6, I must have faith in my ability to wield the truth. 7, I must be free from resentment under the experience of persecution. Big one. Big one. Big one. Let me just dwell on that for a moment. I've shared with you my mother persecuted me from birth. I was taken away from her and put in foster care because I was physically, mentally, and emotionally abused by her. I have been sexually abused and I have been raped a couple of times. Persecution. It's part of your endurance. It's the fire that you refine your spirit in. It's where you find your spirit. It's where the faith in your spirit helps you to overcome the persecution. The persecution is not your master. The persecutor is not your master. You are a sovereign divine being. Let your consciousness radiate, even when through your persecution. Think of Job. Job saved my life. Contemplating on David saved my life. The Bible saved my life. Saved me. When I say life, I mean my mental awareness, my spiritual awareness, my very presence to keep being here in this world. These are archetypes and archetypes. They are no lesser than the characters in the myths and mythologies. They are no lesser or greater whether those characters are insects, ants, animals, human beings, or gods, or elements or elementals, or fairies or trolls, or anything in between. Existence exists for you to observe. Observe from the resting place of conscious awareness, expanding conscious awareness. Why am I observing this? To expand my conscious awareness. No, I don't need you whispering in my ear. No, I'm not going to argue with you about this, and that. I'm at rest, I'm at peace. You can't have none of it. No. Get thee behind me. Don't ask me. That was 7. I must be free from resentment under the experience of persecution. I have done many shows on resentment. In my Valerie AMES on Facebook, there was a whole period about me understanding what my resentment was doing to my spirit. It was feeding upon me. It was causing me to be less than. It was causing all kind of manifestations and circumstances and situations that I had to work through. Learning that the foundation of it was my own resentment. That's how powerful we are. You resent the experience of persecution. When I said that, Ukraine came up. There's a lot here in this current flow of energies. 8. I must be free from resentment under the experience of wrongdoing. I must be free from resentment under the experience of wrongdoing. So even though things are wrong, and it's wrong and it's happening to me and it's happening to others, I can't resent it. That's the story of Moses, why he didn't make it to the promised land, because of his resentment. I must cultivate the ability to distinguish right from wrong, that which is loved from that which is hated. That's the whole, that 9. That's the whole reason for this video. That which I do not want to do. That which I hate, I do, and that which I love, I do not do. I must cultivate the ability to distinguish right from wrong. Those two wolves, you got to distinguish between them. Who gets to sit on that throne of sovereignty and lead and rule? You got to distinguish. 7 keys of ascension. Accept your divinity. Do not believe in loss or gain. Not my will, but thine. Forgive all betrayals. That goes with the resentment, beloveds. View the ego impersonally. Have faith in the support of the invisible realms. Accept your death. When I read the 7 Keys of Ascension, it's funny. Putin and Trump came up. Trump specifically in the, what was that? Forgive all betrayals. Because you want to hold Trump. I thought you want to kill him. You want to hurt him. You want to see him hurt. You want to see him fall. You want to bear witness to all of this. But what you need to realize is the entity that has him. Just like I was a child and went through what I went through and came, I still kept my sovereignty. And yes, that Satan may whoop my ass at times, but I whoop his right back and get the hell out. Donald Trump allowed that entity, just like Smeagol, to overcome him, to become his Lord and Master. It rides him. He don't ride it. He can't say, whoa, mule. No. That digs its spurs into him and says, whoa, Trump is the mule that it rides and it goes, it uses. It's the vehicle, it's the vessel. So when you observe these things, understand what you're observing, just like when I looked into the eyes of my mother. Just like I looked into, I can remember this so reflective coming from this retrograde, okay? I can remember getting into an argument with my first love. Oh, I love this man so. I bore his child. And I can remember him grabbing me by my throat. And I grabbed him by his balls. And we were deadlocked eye to eye, spirit to spirit. He didn't know what to do. Because no female had ever. But what I saw in his eyes, looking back at me, was that same energy, essence, presence that would look at me from my mama's eyes when she was tormenting me or trying to abuse me or trying to break my spirit down on purpose. You will recognize it. And many of us don't know that we love that energy, and that's what we're trying to fix. That's what we're trying to reconcile, or that's what we need to keep rebattling and fighting within others, within other situations, with other circumstances in our lives. But like I said, when you're at peace, there is no more of that. I have no interest. I'm not afraid of being alone. I'm not afraid of people thinking I'm crazy. I'm not afraid of my body size, of dying, of blah, 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 blah. So you can come up with all your little stuff. Get thee behind me, because no, there's nothing you can come up with. But you're gonna keep trying. I know that's the job. That's the nature of this existence. Until heaven is upon earth and it is no more. But until then, it is what it is. But I don't have to be sucked into it. I don't have to lose my sovereignty. I posted a couple of days ago, and this came from a song. If somebody has to lose, I don't want to play. I don't want to play the game somebody got to lose. It's not a game I wish to indulge. That's not an energy, an essence, a frequency that I wish to indulge in. Why should I? That lessens my spirit. I don't have to be better than anything because I am all. I rest in that, knowing myself in that. I don't have to compete. I don't have to compare. I'm good. You're better than me? Okay. You're smarter than me? Okay. You're prettier than me? Okay. You're younger than me? Okay. You're thinner than me? Okay. You're wealthier than me? Okay. I'm at peace. And I'm learning to ground myself in that peace. Even like I said, when he's, oh, I want to do this. Spirit is saying do this. And this comes up and that comes up and this comes up and that puts you 3 hours later and you're like, I still haven't done this yet. God, what is going on? And you get so frustrated and disappointed you don't even do it. No. You breathe through it. You okay. All right. Okay. All right. Baby steps. And if it ain't meant to be in that moment, let it go. It'll arise again. The tides come and go, baby. They don't. Okay, that's it. I want to show you my little wall. And yes, my stuff is messy over here. But I wanted to just show you what reflects upon me, what I have around me that reflects upon me. That no matter how stormy it is outside, no matter how gray and dark and cloudy, I have words, I have virtues, I have principles, I have powers in front of me that ground me, that reflect me. That even when I'm not reading them or focusing on them individually, they're there. That's the reason for stuff. That's the reason for stuff. Memories, storage of energy. Okay, beloveds, that is going to do it for me. I thank you. I am going to go get back in my bed and hopefully I can go back to sleep. I have been sleeping a lot. And it's not just from returning from the trip from California with my grandbabies. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, beloved. And ouch. And in that lot going on, there's a lot of the body cells flushing themselves out and new cells being formed, being born, being just like a womb with a woman's period. Okay, this is a very heavy period time. Okay, put it that way. Because the cells are just, there's so much flushing, there's ancestral flushing going on, there's ancestral detachment from the wombs, happening. And the blood that's washing it away and washing it down and out. And there's the sluggish feeling and just everything. Rest your body, drink lots of water. Beloveds, um, be intentional with what you're taking in visually and verbally, um, what's in your cycle and in your circle. And again, understand the divine feminine and divine masculine in this process of birth, death, rebirth. I keep going back to the womb and the womb space and the womb cleansing itself when it has not been impregnated and the linings coming down, being shed. A new age is being born. Okay, so there's a lining, a timeline, they're saying, that is being shed. And this timeline being shed is causing many of those who receive, transmit, transform, and transmute to feel a little sluggish, to slow down. That is the retrograde effect within the rotation of this cycle of things, beloveds. Um, okay, that is going to do it for me. I can't come up with anything else other than, okay, it's time for me to go get in the bed because I'm sleepy. Okay. Um. Oh, beloveds, this first and foremost. If you know of someone who is spiritually sensitive in a certain manner, please do what you can to help that individual. Help them monetarily. Help them just with meals if you can. Send them meals. You ain't gotta send them money. Send them meals. Send them coupons to the meals. Send them, you know, you can buy the cards now from the different eating places where they can get healthy meals. Um, Offer to come clean for them. Offer to come do some things for them because the energy is not there. And sometimes you're so busy. I can speak for myself. I'm so busy transmuting from a cosmic level. And this again is the knowing about the resting. Because when you're at rest, you need some, it's okay to have somebody else come and do something for you. And that's where I'm at. Instead of letting stuff just pile up because I don't have the energy today, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it, and it just keeps piling up, beloveds. And then you have to pay somebody and they're like, okay, why didn't you call me before it got I don't know. You know how I am. And so Help them out, beloveds. Help them out. Help them out in ways. Give them massages, coupons, or whatever, so they can spa things, so they can take care of themselves. I haven't shaved. I need to go and get that done. I haven't gotten that done. It's just, there's so much. And now, right now, there's so much going on out there. There's so much war and there's so much chaos, and these little walk-ins and energies and ding 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 that you need your shields up, that you like, it's not even worth me going out there, because I just still got the energy that's gonna, oh, I'm like, okay, Valerie, you gotta go grocery shopping. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And people are like, well, what do you mean you can't? You wouldn't. I couldn't explain it to you. I just do not have the energy. Do not have, and I am craving fresh fruit, watermelon, and I'm craving zucchini bread. I'm craving things with seeds in them. I'll put it like everything that has a seed in it. Fruit and vegetables. Oh my God. Okay, beloveds, that's going to do it for me. But help those, beloveds. You can even go as far as Walmart now will deliver things. So if you don't know their address, or if there's a sense of privacy or whatever, you can send them a card for Walmart or groceries or whatever, or even a restaurant, through their email address or something. I don't know. But that needed to come through. So it did. And if I'm needing and thinking of these things, I know that there are others that are needing and thinking them as well. And another thing I've got to do is start telling people I need help, and that I need help. Can you go pick me up this and that from the grocery store? Can you do this? Can you do that? If you don't say anything, don't nobody read your mind. So everybody know you got to ask. And some of us have such a thing with asking. And that's the resentment too. You resent having to ask. So that's an aspect that I've got to work on. All right, beloveds. Namaste. Thank you. I love you all.